In today's episode of the Pathfinder Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Anthony Petitte, and he's sailing over from the folks over at Zuum app. He's the director of marketing and partnerships, and at Zuum, they're basically, helping folks over in the logistics industry to basically automate freight. So that's what we really want to talk about today. It's one platform, and let's learn about Zuum today. So, Anthony, welcome to the show.
Hey, well, Lucas, thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. So maybe give listeners a quick overview. What is Zuum all about in your own words?
Yeah, absolutely. So Zuum is a platform that allows shippers, brokers, and carriers to connect all in one place in their super logistics platform. So there's a digital freight marketplace on one end, and then the other end is a TMS, which is called a transportation management system. So what Zuum does is takes pretty much the entire market segmentation in transportation and brings them all together in one ecosystem. And with that, they're able to book loads. If you're a shipper, you're able to, as a broker, you're able to see the capacity, the lanes from the shipper and the carrier. And from the carriers, they're able to book and bid on those loads if they want to go, move that freight across the country. So this is mostly in the U.S., but we have expanded a little bit into the U.S. and Canada. Into Canada and Mexico.
Very good. Okay, that definitely gives an overview. What would you say? How would you describe the organizations that benefit the most? Is there a certain amount of freight that they would have to push through, or is there what makes an ideal customer really leveraging the platform?
So we actually have three different customers. That's the three market segmentations. So it's one, the shipper, two, the broker, and three, the carrier. And with all of those, like I said before, it's working together in tandem in one ecosystem.
Very good. Now, what would you say, which person or which persona or who within those, from the triangle, shippers, brokers, carriers, who is basically, holding the flag high within these organizations? Is that coming from a technical side of things? Is it coming from operations, from a financial operations thing? Like who is actually, bringing in the tool?
So it could be multiple, right? So because we are a tech software, we essentially can work with the technology teams. But with the three market segments, we are working with the operations teams. So it's an operations team for the shipper, and we typically work with shippers that are about $1 billion USD plus in revenue. We typically work with a broker that's between 5 to 25 users. And we typically work with a carrier that's going to be on your smaller side. So there's 3.2 million truck drivers in the US. And out of those 3.2 million, 94% of them are owner operator independent drivers. And we work with that market segment.
Very cool. Super insightful, super interesting. Now, how do these folks learn about Zuum? Like, how would you describe their journey? Like, what's the channels that you guys leverage for them to get started?
And so we work with inbound traffic, outbound traffic. On the inbound side, we have a full marketing team. Marketing team focuses on different strategies to promote Zuum. We have built a very good website that ranks very well. We have put a lot of time and effort into companies like HubSpot, putting together certain campaigns to bring newsletters and more awareness to our customers, right? And then on the outbound side, we have a full sales team, and the sales team is spread across two departments. The first department is the digital freight marketplace, which is essentially the shipping and the carrier side. And the second department is our software as a service brokerage model, which is essentially our brokers.
Gotcha. Very cool. Now, how you mentioned actually the website there that ranks well and is solid. How do you think about the website as a marketer? Because typically, any marketer we have on the show, there's always something to improve on the websites. Like, what do you think what do you consider sort of the strength of the website versus where do you see room for improvement? Like, what role does it play in your eyes?
Of course, there's always areas to improve. And, we work hard. Our marketing team works hard together. So I'm only director of partnerships, but I also run the marketing department within the company. And we make sure that we are obviously we're ranking well on Google, but we're also bringing not only the awareness, but the brand, right? Because everything is about brand. When you're building a business, you're going to make sure that when any one of our market segmentations go to our company, they know who we are already. So when they come to our company or come to our website, sure, they're going to get more educated or they learn more a little bit about the products, but it's really more about just knowing what Zuum is and what we do and how we operate, what our mission is, what our values are, what our culture is all about. And that's really how we try to market.
Very cool. Now, talking a little bit more about your journey, right, as a marketer. What I'm very curious about is to just learn a little bit, because we talked about the product a bit, who you're serving. As a marketer, like, where do you keep on finding great nuggets of information, right? There's so much content out there for marketers that you could be reading all day long, watching videos, listening to podcasts. Like, what do you do as a marketer in order to, get high quality information?
So I started out as a marketing specialist, digital marketing specialist, way back in 2009. And I actually, for 6.5 years, I was in digital marketing. So I was in the financial sector, a little bit different than transportation and logistics. But I really learned how to become a good marketer, right? To use search engine optimization, to use the right content, almost kind of hybrid copywriter, hybrid search engine optimization, different tools and strategies to get the word out there. So I think there's a lot that goes into research, first of all, about that specific industry and how to really market and promote the brand.
Gotcha. Very cool. Now, I do have some rapid fire questions as we're slowly approaching the end of the interview to get to know you and your journey as a marketer a little bit better. Are you ready for those?
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
Very good. So what would be the last book that you read or the last podcast you listened to?
So the last book I read was The Psychology of Money. And I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's pretty well known all over the world now. Millions of copies. And it definitely teaches me. I don't know anything. I mean, I know some stuff, but I don't know everything, right? And it really helps me to learn more about finance. It helps me to learn more about how I can help the company in a financial perspective as well. And so I think there's a lot of tools. There's a lot of good reads in there for everybody. If you haven't read the book, obviously you should. And if you have, you probably agree with me what I'm saying. So I think that's, just to answer your question, that's the last book I read. It's phenomenal. It's something that could help you as an individual, but also help you in whatever occupation or industry you're in.
Very good. Next question. What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
We are focused on our brokerage model. So as I was saying earlier, we have a digital freight marketplace and we have a brokerage model. Our digital freight marketplace has been around since the inception of the business, which was 2016. The brokerage model has been around now for about a year and 4 months. So we had started that about end of Q3, early Q4 of last year. And that has been the product that we've been focusing on, trying to get more brokerage relationships. So when I say brokerage, I mean freight brokerages. So typical, and I'm not sure how it works in Europe, but in the US, a freight brokerage is typically the middleman who makes sure a shipper that's posting their shipments or their freight is going to get a qualified carrier to come and pick up that freight and deliver it to the right location.
Very good. Next question. If there would be no boundaries in technology, you have a magic wand, what's the one single thing you would fix for your role as a marketer?
There's no boundaries in technology and I had a magic wand. Well, I would most likely fix all the bugs that run through not only through the website, but also through our products. And no product is perfect. They get bugs. There's outside people that are not so nice that try to hack you for your payments, especially if you're handling a lot of payments, right? So if I had a magic wand, I would put an end to that and there would be no bugs. It'd be completely clean. We won't have to worry about QA testing or trying to hire outside resources to come and clear those bugs.
Very good. Last question. If we do a little bit of time travel, right? We go back to the days of Kendall College, right? Heading out of formal education into the world of business. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey as a marketer?
Yeah, so if I were to take a time machine back to graduating college, I would say that you need to do more research, and research is going to help you down the road. In fact, when I first graduated from university, I thought that I can just jump into a position and kind of learn it myself without doing much research, and I failed many times. Now, looking back, I would say that to myself, but now doing the research that I'm a very good researcher. Right? That's all I spend my time doing, R&D.
Mm.
It really helps me. It helps me grow, helps me learn as a person, as an individual, but also to help the company as well grow. So I'm kind of utilizing what I would tell myself in the past, but also explaining it to other people in the future.
Very good. Anthony, really appreciate you took the time with us today to be a guest on Pathmark Presents. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Zuum today, what's the one single thing people should remember?
Zuum is going to help pretty much the entire supply chain. So take the supply chain, bring it in one ecosystem. We're helping shipper, the broker, and the carrier. If you're outside in transportation logistics, whether you're in the US, Europe, Asia, or another continent, I would definitely encourage you to look up Zuum. It's www.zoomapp.com.
Gotcha. Very good. And for everybody listening in, it's ZUU and then M and then APP for that, just in case you're going anywhere near the O. There's no O there, it's just use. So very good. Anthony, really appreciate you joined us today. Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmark Presents.
Thank you.